Hey puppies! Welcome back to Curiosity. It's a big day. Oh yes, it's a fun day. It's an amazing day today. But before we jump straight into things, perhaps we should talk about how well we're doing in our world currently. You know, how we're going for resources and things. So let's think about food. We're doing very good with food. Even such a humble sweetberry farm as this, so humble, so amazing, was doing very well. Something like sugarcane, we're doing very well in that as well. Something like wood dirt, surprisingly we're doing amazing in that. Cobblestone, I mean it's okay. Even something like diamonds, that's not bad. That's not bad, I do say. That's not bad at all. Something like, you know, sand, that's pretty good. Even wool, it's pretty good. But what isn't pretty good? Well, it's iron. As you can see, I am only half clothed, so don't look at me. Unfortunately, we only have 2 iron currently. So, yeah, we only have 2 iron. And my shield's almost broken, so is my sword, which already means that I'm, like, at a negative iron amount already for what I really need. So, today's episode, that's how we lead into it. We need to find more iron ore. Well, that was easy. Episode over. Bye. No. A bit more than 2. We need to find, well, quite a bit of iron ore. I don't really have a specific amount, but it would be nice to find some. So in today's episode of Curiosity, we're going to be talking all about ores, possibly mainly iron, and how to find ores in 1.18. So let's talk about ores for a second. What is an ore, and have these mushrooms grown? Probably, because there's like 6 of them right there. Yay, first mushrooms! Yo, I just realized my home is a mushroom farm. That's cool. Anyway, what is an ore? Well, an ore, what's a block? It's a rare stone type block that can give you resources. You kind of probably already know what an ore is, playing Minecraft long enough. Now, what ores are in the game? Well, today we're just going to be talking about overworld ores, not nether ones, but the ores that are in the game are, well, there's quite a list nowadays. You have the most common, which is coal ore. Then you have something like iron and copper, which are a little bit rarer, but still quite common. And then you have ones that are quite a bit rarer, like gold, redstone, lapis. And then you also have diamond, which is a great one. And yeah, I think that's heavy ore. Well, then, there's a special ore, but we're not going to talk too much about that today. But how do you find ores? Well, a good way to find a lot of ores is to go mining. Another way is to go caving. We've gone caving before. Caving is great, especially in the cave update, of course. But mining is also very useful, even in the cave update. And so today we're going to be going mining. We're going to be setting up our proper mine, actually our first mine in this world. And so I'm thinking maybe right here, but then again something else might go there as well, a secret. So maybe somewhere else. Maybe. Whoa, maybe we could put it in this hill. And even theoretically we could still have something on top. I like that idea. Dig into the hill. So how do you go mining? Well, there's lots of different ways to go mining in Minecraft, obviously. But, well, I mean mining, Minecraft, you would understand that there'd be a lot of mining different techniques in a game called Minecraft. You know, mine. It's half the game, people. Not really. But one good way to go mining is something called strip mining. Also, I think called branch mining sometimes. Yeah, that's the same stuff, right? Oh, there's that lava I've been listening to. I was wondering when we'd see you, big awful whacker. Well, that slightly complicates things. It also means I can't really use any wood in my build above, which ruins everything. That's interesting. There's a bunch of lava right there. I don't care if I get rid of some of it, but I do generally want to keep it there probably. And you dig long hallways and generally just try to find ores. It's pretty simple, it kind of makes a lot of sense, you know. You just branch off in different directions. Flip. But that is, I mean, that's not the only way to mine, but it's the only way we're going to be talking about today. It's the only way I ever really do. I just realized I don't have a stone cutter, do I? Ah, I can't make stairs. That's a shame. But now here comes the question: if you're going to go branch mining, where do you mine? Like, where do you go? Well, pre-1.17, sorry, pre-1.18, which is the latest update. I mean, technically we're playing 1.18.1, but you know. Pre this update, what you would have said is Y11, possibly Y10 would be basically the best place for mining. That was low down in your world. It was just above where the lava generates. I mean, there's lava there, so the lava generates other places sometimes, but the main lava starts like low down. It used to start at like Y10. So at Y10 it would be at this block level, but at Y11, so yeah, for Y10 it would be like if lava generated, it would be where my feet are, but at Y11 it would be there, so I'd be able to step up, like not just fall straight into it. But anyway, so pre 1.17 there was an easy answer. Talking about how to mine pre 1.18, well, that would be a boring episode, you wouldn't really want to watch that, boring. But in 1.18, mining changed massively, hugely, revolutionary stuff happened, because now, guess what, puppies? There's more than one number. And what is this? Oh no, wait, what is this? Now let me get my air back on this magma. And we've found ores already. What is this? What is all this? Nice. I'm probably gonna drown, but cool. There's a flooded cave. Well, not very cool for my mine. Everything get out the way. I'm trying to dig a mine here, guys. Ow! 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 What the? What the? Bro, 4 hearts down? What the flip? Bro, that is so... What? That was so terrible. Jeez. Oh. Okay, so that sucked. I should have just gone to the magma. I didn't realize that I would mine that slowly. Oh, it's just going to be a pain. In 1.18, there were all kinds of ways to mine. And all places to mine at. Because in 1.18, ore distribution changed in Minecraft. What does that mean? Well, it sounds a bit fancy. But basically all it means is the places you can find ores changed drastically. Don't mind me, I'm just using blocks to remove this water. It's a good trick to know actually, is that if you place blocks it will place the water source. So if you block off a certain area so that it doesn't just generate more water sources, you can do this. Oops. Do that and then you see all the water's gone. Slowly moves away and then you can eat. And this way we'll be able to dig the mine through here. Have a straight staircase, which would be good. So, where do you want to mine when you are mining in 1.18? Well, that is a very good question. And so to think about where we should mine in 1.18, we first have to think about what we're mining for. Now, as you can see on this handy information at 1.18 ore distribution chart, which I actually got off of the Minecraft wiki, we have here what it's talking about 1.18 and 1.17. And so in 1.17, like I said, you could just go down low in your world, just avoid the lava, and then you would mine for lots of things. Now it's a little bit different with like copper and stuff, but I think maybe lapis. But generally you just go low down your world, you'd find lots of everything. Easy way to mine. Just go down there, use dig a tunnel for 2 hours and find cool stuff. But nowadays it's a little bit more interesting. Because nowadays, as you can see on this main part of the chart, there's lots of different colors and who's it's and what's it's and little squiggly lines and things. So first let's talk about coal, which would be the black colored boxes. So we have As you can see, coal is a little bit funny because it has this big rectangular prism, not rectangular prism, it's not 3D, a big rectangle here. And so this is mainly for things like mountains and stuff, and up mountains. That's why you'll find a lot of coal up top of mountains and things, is because they generate very commonly right up at the top here. And so when looking at this chart, it basically, the wider the box means the more ore generates in that spot. You have the Y levels here, and I don't know if you can see them too well. I don't know if the zoom is working either for you guys, but you can see the numbers 1, 112, 120, 128, and if you come down the bottom here, you have 0, at -8, -40, -24. So this isn't too HD, so you might not actually be able to see the numbers, but I'll try to say them out loud as well if you can't. But basically, you've got a big box here from 256 downwards, all the way to 144, or a bit lower than that actually, sorry, like 136 of a lot of coal up high. And then you've also got this triangular pyramid thingy. Again, it's not 3D, so it's not technically a pyramid, but anyway. What we've got here is the peak of it. So this one's a triangle, so that means that it's worst at the top there, worst at the top there, and best in the middle. So at Y96, if you're looking for coal, technically the best place to mine for it, if you're looking for specifically coal, would maybe be Y96, or possibly actually right at the end here at like Y130 roughly, because then you're getting the big box there and the triangle. But that's unrealistic. How do you mine at 140, like 140 Y level? That doesn't make any sense. It's not underground. It's like only terrain sometimes doesn't even reach up that high. It's not even like mining at like Y90. Mining at Y90. But what the funny thing is, yeah, well that, you definitely can't mine for just coal. So where would you want to go if you're going for coal? Well, maybe you would base that off of other ores, because who goes mining just for coal anyway? That's a little bit weird, mate. Basically, let's talk about iron. Now, iron is the white boxes. Now, iron is exactly what we're looking for. Oh yes, the chef's kiss to iron is brilliant. The most useful item in all of Minecraft. Change my mind. I didn't think so. Okay. So this one's kind of like a rhombus, isn't it? It's like a weird shape. So this one's got, it's kind of like a triangle, but it's got another dip there. So technically the best place ever in the universe to mine for iron, I think, is kind of Y232. And of course, Y232 is completely underground, so let's go mine there. No, that's right up a mountain. Like, I don't even know if mountains, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a mountain generate that high. So, yeah, you can't really mine there. But there's this extra blob of iron that generates there, and that's useful, and it stretches all the way down to Y80, I think that is, yeah. So it stops at Y80, so there's a big chunk of iron, it's nice. But the main iron is, of course, over here. We have iron that, in this triangle, that hits Y16. So Y16 is technically the best place to mine for iron, realistically. Technically it's here, but like realistically it's here. But there's also another thing, there's this big white line, and this is like a little rectangle, very long and thin, and that starts at roughly Y72 and stretches all the way down to -64 to bedrock, to the very bottom of the world. And so that's nice. That means the iron generates everywhere underground. But also there's something else that iron has, a very special thing, and that's the swiggly lines that look like an ant nest or something. Well, these swiggly lines are not just random doodles somebody made on the map. They are actually ore veins. Now, ore veins are an amazing thing. I don't really know too much about ore veins, but basically, ore veins generate underground, and they generate a ton of ores in one big like line, and it's kind of swiggly, kind of like this. It's not that huge, but it's kind of swiggly. And you can find a lot like that. So, the ore veins only generate in the negative Y values for iron. So, you can go to Y16 and get a consistent amount of iron, or if you want to place your bets right now and be a little bit more tricky and risky, you could go down to maybe like Y-32 or something, or even like right down the bottom of the world. You can get the guarantee of the small tiny amount of iron that generates everywhere underground, and also the chance to find a big glorious cha-ching jackpot of an iron ore vein. Oof. That would be brilliant, but I don't think we're gonna do that. I'm not getting risky here. I just need some iron. So, with those 2 ores covered, let's go over the other ones a bit quicker because we were just talking about those. They're a little bit more special. So, redstone ore. Redstone is obviously amazing. The best place to mine for redstone is, not very excitingly, the very bottom of your world. Wow, amazing. Thanks for being original, redstone. So 1.17 of you. Well, not really, it's okay. But that one, kind of like iron, has this sloping triangle. That just means it gets better the lower down it goes. And also another bit that means that actually it only generates below Y16. Which means if you're mining a Y16, you are not going to find any redstone at all when you're mining perfectly for iron. That's very scary. You also only find a little bit of coal. And that's very scary as well. Now, let's move on to something like gold. Gold! Oh, everybody loves gold. Not really, gold is garbage. But it's useful for some things. It's okay. It's not the most useful, well, it is actually the most useful one. But, well, no, like that one. Anyway, so gold generates very low down. You have this little blob here that generates, this little rectangle that generates, that's from -48 and down to the bottom of the world. But then you also have, of course, the triangle. The triangle peaks at about -Y16. So that means if you're looking for gold, why would you mine specifically for gold? I don't know. You do you, man. Then Y16, Y-16 is probably your best bet for gold. Then something else like copper. Oh, copper is the brilliance. Copper is amazing. Copper, the building block, the thing for lightning rods. Of course, it's got so many uses, guys. Believe me. I'm a used car salesman. So this has another triangle. Now this also has a jagged line here. That's very interesting, but we'll talk about that in a second. So at Y45 is the best place to mine for copper, technically. So if you're mining for copper, you have this line here. Now that will get you a little bit of lapis, will get a little bit of coal, will get you a little bit of iron. And so Y45 is actually a pretty decent place to mine. Now that's kind of crazy from my 1.16, 1.17 perspective and below. Like Y45 being a good place to mine for ores. Like what? Normally I'm like disappointed if a cave doesn't go like 20 blocks beneath that. And also there's large copper ore veins which generate from around Y45 downwards, but not in the negative Y values. But copper ore does thankfully generate up to negative Y16. So if you're mining around there, you might find a little bit of copper as well, if you're mining for gold. But there's also this wiggly line. I didn't actually notice, but this is for gold as well. And so that means that it's biome specific. So the Dripstone Caves biome, if you're looking specifically for copper, then the Dripstone Caves is your best bet. As you can see, it has a ton more copper. Look at how much more copper it has. In fact, it almost doubles it, or possibly over doubles the amount of copper that you'll find if you're mining at Dripstone Caves. Now the gold, this one isn't related to a cave biome. This is a Badlands biome. Now, I know it says Badlands, that's alright, it's just a bad name. We call it the base around here. Besides, it's just a biome on the surface that we haven't found yet. It has a special amount of gold, tons of gold. As you can see, it has lots of gold all up everywhere, basically. You can find a lot of gold in the Badlands. And then maybe, what other ones we got to do? Or lapis lazuli ore. Oh, brilliant ore. Or maybe it's the most useless. It's not very useful. It's not very useful, you know. But it's nice. It's blue. Blue is good. It's the other shiny blue ore, you know. So as you can see, not very much lapis generates at all. Like that's so tiny. But the best place to mine for lapis is Y0. And then, well, then there's the sacred ore. The almighty ore of diamonds is the most boring one yet. It just has this triangle that goes downwards. And so it generates a little bit below Y16 and then gets best the lowest down. Now, there's something else we haven't talked about. There's emerald ore. But emerald ore actually only generates in the mountain biomes. Only in mountains and windswept hills, I think is the other biome. But the best place to mine for that is like the top of the world. You don't ever really mine for emerald ore because just trade with the villagers. And then there's something else we haven't talked about, and that is reduced air exposure. As you can see, that's on the coal. Sorry, yeah, the coal. It's on the diamonds and it's on the gold and also kind of on the lapis. So reduced air exposure, as it says down in this little box here, reduced air exposure equals when an ore block is about to be placed by the game, not by you of course. If it is exposed to air, then it has a chance of being skipped instead. So Minecraft will just go, no, we're not generating that there. No free ores for people. No caving for ores. And Lapis has literally no air exposure at all, which means that this triangle bit you'll never find in caves. You can find it in caves because of the rectangle, but not that. And so I think that's us going over the ores now, but now we have to decide where are we going to mine. Well, that's a good question. So what we're looking for today is mostly iron, but also I wouldn't mind finding some diamonds. So I think the best place to mine, really, right now, might be at Y0. Very interesting. But also, why Y0, you may say? Well, that's a little bit, that seems, I mean, it's obviously a nice flat number, but maybe you could go to Y-8, because then you also find some large ore veins. Now, technically for iron, that might be the best place to mine. That's a very good place to mine as well, definitely. But the thing about going into the negative Y values is, as you can see, the stone block changes, and that goes into deep slate. Now, deep slate, as beautiful as it is a very tricky and a menacing block, because it is twice as hard to mine as regular stone. And so that means with my pathetic stone and maybe iron tools, digging through that stuff is going to take a lot longer than digging through stone. So for not too much more of a gain, I mean, I'm calling it an ore vein, not too much more of a gain, but for digging in that place, it seems quite not worth the risk, and I don't really want to. But if I want to get a bunch more deep slates, so if you're looking for your best of all ores, it probably is still the bottom of the world is the best bet you got. But if you're looking for things like copper, you won't find any down there. And also an amazing thing for the atmosphere, especially once I add things like the deep dark in 1.19, is the fact that no coal ore will generate below Y0. So that means no coal, and that means no torches either. I mean, sure, there's redstone torches, and you could also make charcoal and, you know, but basically it means no easy torches and no easy lighting sources down that deep, so your mine could get very dark very quickly. So I believe Y0 is our best bet right now. We'll find a little bit of coal, hopefully enough to keep the place lit, please Minecraft. And yeah, back to Minecraft. How is this the first andesite of the world? What the? Andesite, an amazing stone variant. I'm brilliant for building. Very useful. Very great. Very dark. Not andesite, but this. Coming up on Y0 now. Oh, puppies. Something very interesting has happened. With Y13, but the biome just changed to lush caves. And then I hit clay. Oh, this could be big. I assume it's the same lush caves we found before, but... oh, it's clay. Clay, glorious clay, I love you. Oh, so much of it. Oh, that's very high up. Okay, so we're down here at -8, which is where we're actually going to be mining today. So the sad thing is we're not going to get any coal, which is going to be painful, and I may run out of torches very quickly. I'll try to be smart with my torches though. And so, because we're down here, and this is going to be maybe one of our major mines for a little while, I'm going to dig out a little bit of a room. So now what we're going to do is dig a big tunnel. Hopefully hit the lush caves. Maybe we won't hit the lush caves, I have no idea. I would like to though. Tough. Lapis lazuli ore, oh yeah, and some tough. Brilliant. So, this is lapis lazuli ore. It needs a stone or better pickaxe to be mined, and it drops lapis lazuli and experience. So if I mine some of this up, see, we get some lapis lazuli. And gold ore, that's nice. What a cool thing to find. Hang on a sec though. Oh, come on! Where is this cave? Though to be fair, I'm just happy to get a lot of clay. Gold so interesting because it needs an iron pickaxe or more, or better, to mine, and it drops 1 raw gold and does not drop experience. But you smelt up the raw gold, and you get a gold ingot, and then you get experience from smelting it. See? Clever. More iron. Nice. This is a good spot to mine for iron. Oh, this is a great spot to mine for iron. And we could find iron ore veins. It is slow going, but it is good. So, with a falling block like gravel, what you can actually do is something called the torch trick. Now, I'm going to do this so it's a bit easier to see. Or if you're quick enough, you can just right click and do it. But if you place something like a torch down and then have the gravel fall on it, it will actually break the gravel automatically and easily for you, which means that you do not need it all to ever mine it. But if you do want to mine it, then that's easy. Just grab yourself a shovel. You might want torches in your hand, and you can just do that. And you get flint sometimes. Hey, nice. I love the flint. Everybody loves flint, right? Here we are. Oops, sorry. Cave vines, but finally into the caves. Oh yeah. Mining is good and all, but lush caving is great. Wow, what a cave, guys. Amazing. What? You can't place torches on moss? Oh, it's a moss carpet. I was gonna say, what? Oh, what's this? It's not an axolotl. Is it an open cave? Ooh. Maybe there is an axolotl nearby. But before I continue, copper. Copper is a cool ore. Needs a stone above, and it drops raw copper. It drops multiple raw copper actually. No experience, but you smelt up to raw copper and you get experience. Bam. Copper. Yeah. Axolotl slashes. Whoa, what the? Look at them all. Listen to them, they're so cute! I love axolotls. Yeah, I mean, like, listen to the voices and noises that I make. I think I'm actually an axolotl. I think it's become clear to me I'm actually an axolotl. Oh, what? What? Well, it's two of them. Flip. Oh, thanks for helping, actually. Thank you. That was so nice of you to shoot that baby zombie so one of you dies. No. To be fair, I was preferring you didn't. Ow. Don't be rude. Don't be rude and just get your head smacked, boy. Whoa! Ow! Why do I suck at combat today so much? Into that. Necessarily, there's more diamonds though. But necessarily, I wasn't. I mean, I'm kind of a nice guy. I'm gonna just go kill all those things. Goodbye. Hey, redstone needs iron as well. Drops redstone dust. We'll find some more to demonstrate that on because I'm leaving right now. It's like a small cave that could easily lead to something very good. Oh, it did. That's a mine shaft. No way. An abandoned mine shaft structure. Long maze kind of like structure. Generates big hallways. Oh, dang. And also rails. And also la loot. Oh, la loot. Everybody loves la loot. It's so dark. We're not really going to check the structure. Oh, freaking heck. It's a cave spider spawner. I'm out. Oh, they also have a special spawner for a special, even more dangerous type of spider. Called a cave spider. It's smaller, deadlier, and it also deals poison. So, I'm good. I don't need to go check that out right now with like half iron armor and only 3 berries. Alright. Thank you for the offer. 33 raw iron. Yes. Brilliant. We are geniuses for mining here. Geniuses. So, it might be time for us to get mining. Oh yeah. Hey puppies! Welcome to what I believe is the first time-lapse talk of Curiosity Season 2. I miss these things. Just sitting down at my computer for no reason, way after filming the Minecraft episode, and then suddenly having to talk about the topic that I've already ended, and stumbling over my words for about 5 minutes. Brings back memories indeed. But today, we've got a little bit to talk about. Generally, the goals for what we'll be doing in the Curiosity world. So, the end dragon, beating the game, or whatever you want to call it, it's a pretty big goal. It's a pretty big thing to do. And I'm definitely down for like beating the dragon fairly soon. Last season, what we did was we beat the dragon on episode 32, and that was my goal, was to beat the dragon on or before episode 32. I'll probably do that again this season, though we're going slower, I think, than we did in the first one. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, we're going fairly slow right now, considering we haven't mined any diamonds and we already have like 5 diamond ore. But yeah, we need to start advancing a little bit, I think. So next episode's gonna be more about us getting into like farming things, and the next episode's gonna be about farming things, or maybe, and then we're gonna do a build somewhere in there, and then we're gonna be working our way up to like the dragon. Generally fairly soon, because there's some things we could do. But then we also have to think about, what about the current base we're at? Now, the spawn there, this seed, is pretty epic. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a giant cave underneath it, which we'll be talking about in a little bit, but it is a pretty cool seed that we got, a spawn in a Mega Tree Taiga, or whatever it is, Old Growth Spruce Taiga, or whatever, Pine Taiga, whatever it's called nowadays. It's pretty cool that we got to spawn right there, and it also does have a lush cave, so we don't have to travel for that. And I'm definitely up for building a mini base there, because that place, that vibe there, oof, that vibe, that has got the chef's kiss written all over it. It's really good. Like, if you were to build a humble, small little starter base around there, maybe even start to build upwards a bit, it could just get really cool. I'm not a great builder though. But yeah, I'm hyped for making a small base there. Definitely, I'm not against building there or anything. But I mean, it is 1.18, and although that is an amazing seed to find, I would probably prefer to not live there, to be honest. Permanently, at least. Like I said, I'm definitely up for building a base there. Maybe until we fight the dragon or something. In the last season, we also had multiple bases. We had, up until episode 64, we lived at Rivertown, which was in a plains biome, which was just like the first place we went after we started the world in Curiosity Season 1. And after episode 64, we found an amazing spot in the jungle. We lived there. But I'd love to do a cave base. That would be a big thing, doing a cave base. That would be great. I haven't found a giant cave yet, so I preferably would find a giant lush caves in the negative Y values, which is like my ideal real estate location right now. I should get an agent on that. But finding that is a little bit difficult. I mean, it can be difficult or it cannot be difficult. It just depends how lucky you get. Like, we did find that massive dripstone caves, and I'm considering maybe living there. I'm not dissing the dripstone. I mean, the dripstone's nice and stuff, but it's not lush. It's not that luscious, amazing as the lush caves is. But I would live in that dripstone caves, maybe. So we want to find a cave like that, but in the negative Y values and lush. So it ticks one of the boxes of being a giant cave. So yeah, finding a better base location is something I'm probably going to do soon. I was kind of hoping I'd find a giant cave when I was mining, but I didn't. Spoiler alert. Oh, yes, spoiler alert, I didn't. Well, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, that building here is a big thing, and I already have a house design that I want to do at above the ground there, probably. And also have some ideas for mining zone. But yeah, I really feel like a target base there would be pretty amazing. Kind of basing off my favorite Minecraft Let's Play series, which would be the Minecraft Guide by Waddles. Check him out, he's an amazing YouTuber. Underrated, even though he has 1 million subs. And yeah, the vibe at his base in the third season at that target base is just like unbelievable. And I'm like, I could almost do that. If I was a good builder, I could do that in this biome. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to be able to get, yeah, base that kind of vibes with that idea of like being early game, but also quite nice and built up. Oh gosh, I'm having to nail vibes now. I'm gonna be worried I'm not this good. Like, I started building last year, guys. Don't put so much pressure on me. Anyway, back into the caves. Ooh, bye-bye, puppies. So, I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse there. I'm sure I enjoyed making it. But we are here at a little cave. Well, I don't know how little it is, but it's a cave at least. It could be a very, oh, I missed that. A very big cave. Now, I'm also hearing a lot of skeletons. Now, this could be good or bad. It could be good, because it could be a skeleton spawner. It could be bad, because it could just be a bunch of skeletons that kill me. Okay, but there's a bunch of creepers. As you can see, we have this long tunnel here. I did change the direction a couple of times, which is a good idea to do if you are strip mining, whatever you want to call it. And then obviously we found this cave here that goes somewhere else. Oh, and the diamonds and diamonds indeed. We're getting those diamonds and diamonds indeed soon. Mine up all the diamonds. I'm mainly looking for fortune before we mine up all the diamonds, because then we can get like a ton of diamonds. If you don't know what fortune is, don't worry, we'll talk about it soon. So yeah, this one goes off to like a little cave. I think it's flooded there. That way, now this way is interesting, because this way, as you may have recognized, actually goes into the original cave that we found. This is under the azalea tree, underneath that base. And yeah. So there's the way up, so we could go this way. But let's see the final tally. Maybe let me sort this. And just like that, it is organized. That's how fast I am, guys. No cuts, of course. I definitely did not edit that. Of course, I'm just that fast. So we got a stack and 1 more raw iron. Basically 2 stacks of lapis. 16 raw gold, 14 raw copper, and 21 redstone dust. So all over is a bad. That's not a good amount. It's not very cool. But I mean, the stack of iron is quite nice to get. And rather than lapis, we got more iron than anything else, which means this was... Our experiment worked. We found every ore except coal, because coal doesn't generate down here. And yeah, we found a lot of iron. So technically, it was a success. It just wasn't that good, so it's not that much of a success, but it worked. Of course, it's nighttime. Get hacked. Ninjas on the floor! Ew, listen to those footsteps behind me. That's disgusting. Ew. Spiders. Zip it. I'll kill you in the morning. Wait. Watch this, guys. I'm so elite. I sleep underwater. Hello, friend. Would you care to give me some string? I think it might be time to get in the boat and sail away. Did we ever really check out the shipwreck here? Oh, let's see. Nice, let's take a look here. Has it got the door for air? No. Don't even know. Oh, we only have bait trees nearby, so that's one still. Nah, bait trees just, bait trees are mapping there, so I'll probably just leave the bait trees we've already found nearby. Oh. I'm like, moss blocks! Ooh, have a lush cave. Oh yeah, you got like 10 moss blocks today. Not even trying.
one last chest to raid. But I'll make it through there first. So many trees. My base is just trees. But we will change that tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Well, by tomorrow I mean next episode. Probably not tomorrow.
I mean, like, I mean, if you're watching this like 5 days after the release, or like 2 weeks after the release of the video, and then you're not going to watch one until the next day, then it is indeed tomorrow. If you're watching this the day it's released, then it will not be tomorrow. Ooh, I'm a genius. I was like, why do I have a red bed following me? I genuinely was confused by why there was a red bed item behind me. Oh, there's an enemy. And so, that is going to be it for this episode of Curiosity. I hope to see you in the next one. It will be very fun. But we have achieved our iron goals, and I hope you learned a little bit about ore distribution in 1.18. And so, puppies, I'll see you soon.